What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about 5 mistakes that first-time home buyers make. Hopefully, if you are a first-time home buyer, which is defined as someone who hasn't bought a home before, or if you haven't owned a home in the past 3 years. So if you are a first-time home buyer, you are one of those two, and hopefully you haven't made this mistake before, and hopefully you don't after you watch this video. So before we get started, my name is Deja Spearman. I'm a Connecticut Realtor, and if you have any questions about buying, selling, investing, relocating, anything like that, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to help you. I'll put my best contact on the screen, which is my email and my number, or you can reach out to me on any of my social medias, or you can comment below. Anything. I am very accessible, so please reach out to me if you have any questions regarding anything Connecticut-wise, anything real estate-wise, literally anything. So let's get started. Mistake number 1 that first-time home buyers make is not getting pre-approved. So I do understand that if you're a first-time home buyer, you want to look out there and see what's on the market. You want to get a sense of your style, stuff like that. And I completely understand that, and I encourage that as well. Sometimes when you do that, and you're just like, oh, I'm just looking, you actually find something you love and you want to get the process started. Once again, I completely understand, but I strongly recommend that you at least get a pre-approval. They're good for about 3 months. And you get a pre-approval, so at least if we are going shopping and just looking around, if you did change your mind and you want to put your offer in, we can put it in literally that day. The problem with not having a pre-approval is that if we want to put in an offer, we have no financial backing to show the listing agent that you can actually afford the home. We actually have to go back to the lender, you have to provide your documents, blah, 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 and then he sends it over of trying to get the pre-approval. An offer could have already been accepted on the house that you wanted. So that's why it's always good to just see the pre-approval and see what we're working with. And plus, if you do fall in love with the home and you get a pre-approval and you find out that you can afford it, it could be, you could get a little hurt, and I understand that. That's why I always recommend getting a pre-approval first. And 1, we know what we can afford. 2, when we go shopping or we're just looking around, we can put in an offer right away and see what happens from there. No one's missing out on anything and no one gets hurt. So that's number 1, get your pre-approval. The second thing that first-time home buyers should be aware of is not only the closing costs, but the cost of really maintaining a home. So let's start with closing costs. Closing costs could be attorney fees, homeowner's insurance, your share of utilities, your share of property taxes, like the prorated amount. Like, you have to save for that as well. And just maintaining a home, say you have a furnace, you want to get serviced every year. Say you have a boiler whose lifespan only has 3 more years. Say your roof only has about 10 years left. Like, just little stuff like that you need to know that you need to take care of yearly. And not only that, but property taxes, which is a yearly thing. Connecticut does have property taxes, and there are some great areas to live in, but sometimes the best areas have the highest property tax, the mill rates, you know? So you could be staying in a house that's maybe $250,000, $300,000. The property tax can be $8,000. You definitely need to prepare and budget for that every single year. So having those costs yearly and having the property taxes yearly definitely should be a big factor when you're finding a home. Another thing, unfortunately, some people are going through this and still going through it, but another thing that first-time home buyers make the mistake of is actually listening to outside sources that really aren't the professionals in this industry. So I'm talking about lenders, financial planners, even the realtors. So I know, your mom and dad and your uncle watch the news and say it's a terrible market, or you shouldn't buy right now, or the rates are going to go down, and blah, 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 blah. But in the whole reality, the rates right now are the lowest it's been in the past 4 months. And yes, the news is there because I don't want to say it's there to scare you, but at the end of the day, when they say rates are going to go down or go up, at the end of the day, they really don't know. If you saw my interview before with Tom, he even says it himself, like, at the end of the day, they predict it. It's a prediction, but it's not a factual, concrete thing. At the end of the day, every day, we just see if the rates go up or down. You don't really know what's going to happen this summer. So, and I know, your uncle's just like, I know the market, blah, 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 but at the end of the day, who really knows the market is the mortgage lenders and the realtors, because this is our daily life, is to help clients through this. Actually, one of my lenders I was talking to the other day, he got his client an interest rate of 5.99. So honestly, your best bet is to actually talk to a mortgage lender first, because they're the one who's giving you the loan. Talk to them first and allow them to tell you what you can and can't do and what you can get. So that's rule number 3. I wouldn't say don't listen to your family members, but I would say if you want a hard, concrete answer from someone who's, one, going to help you find a house, which is me, the realtor. 2, someone who's helping you with your financials, which is a financial planner if you want to save. And 3, talk to a mortgage lender, the one who's ultimately giving you the money for the home. The 4th thing that first-time home buyers might make the mistake of is thinking you need 20% for a down payment. If you saw my last video, you would see that you actually don't even need that. Connecticut has the program, the time to own program, but obviously that program is going to run out when the budget is done. It's currently at 4.3 million. So I'm probably giving it another month and a half, maybe, until it runs out. But even with that, the lowest you can put down is 3.5%, not 20. Yes, 20% is greater. You're gonna have lower payments, stuff like that. But you never have to put down 20%. Even with conventional, that's 10%. FHA is 3.5%. And if you're a first-time home buyer, there's programs for you to put down lower than 3.5%. I've had instances where my clients, they talk to my lender and they're just like, hey, I have this much saved up. Is this enough? And the lender's like, you have more than enough saved. Like, at this point, like, you have extra stuff for furniture. You have extra stuff for this. Like, I know everybody thinks you need 20%, and obviously the more you put down, the lower the payment, but really the minimum that you need is 3.5%, really. So let's just remember that there are first-time home buyer programs, there's down payment assistance plans. So 20% is not what you need. You could definitely save that if you want lower payments, but that's not you don't have to reach that goal of 20%. 3.5% is the minimum for FHA. The last and final thing that first-time home buyers make the mistake of is not getting a home inspection. That is your right to waive it in the contract. You 1000% do not have to get one, but I rather spend $400, $500, even $600 to have a licensed professional look at the ins and outs of my house that I cannot see, than buy a house and literally 6 months later, you have this problem, you have that problem. $600 can save you $6,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 later on the road. Now, it is an expense on the buyer's part, and especially if you go into contract with multiple houses, that's $500 here, $500 there. But at the end of the day, you do not want to buy a lemon. Same thing with cars. You want a mechanic to look at it. You want to know, the recalls on it, stuff like that. And you're not going to buy it because it has so many problems. Same thing with the house. We hire the inspectors. Well, you hire the inspectors so they can look at the plumbing, the electrical, the mechanical, the structural. They do radon tests. They test pools, well water. They do all that to make sure the house is in good condition. And it's your right to see all that stuff and say, you know what, I don't want to go through with this contract anymore. But imagine you don't do that, you just continue through because you believe it's the perfect house, and now it could be a health hazard. It could be a hazard just in general, like just stuff like that. You 1000%, I always recommend doing a home inspection. Yes, during the first showing, we are gonna look at the house, the ins and outs, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, I'm not a licensed inspector, I'm not a plumber, I'm not an electrician, I'm not any of that. I can show you the electrical panel, but I personally can't open it or say, you can add this, you can add that. A licensed electrician could do that. And so that's why it's always good to have a home inspection, always. They see things and are trained to find problems. That's the thing. They are trained to do this. And it's always good in the end when you have a home inspection and they tell you, hey, X, Y, and Z, the foundation might go, the roof life is not good, because that can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars later on down the line. So those are the 5 things that first-time home buyers make the mistake of. And I hope if you watch this video, that you take a little value out of it. And once again, if you have any more questions or you want to learn more, feel free to reach out. I do have a free buyer's guide that I will give out if you do want it. Just feel free to comment below, email me, whichever you would want. I can send that over. But I thank you for coming to this video and watching it. If you did like this video, make sure you hit the like button and hit subscribe so you're notified when I post my next video. I thank you for watching, and I hope you have a great day.